Okie dokie, hello audience. So we're going to attempt to sail away from anchor here once again. I've off camera got the chain relatively somewhat taut, but I will pull up about another 30 feet right now, at which point I intend to raise the main and sail away. So we'll see how this works out. The plan today is to head to Savory, get on land there, and also go to Lund for some fuel. It's supposed to be rain for the next couple nights, and I have been burning a lot of fuel for heat lately. I'm pretty determined to sail my way out of here this day. Ultimately, I would, we'll just let this footage unroll and you can see for yourselves. I gave it a good deal of effort. What you're not seeing through the sped up footage here is this whole process took about an hour. This whole day, in fact, took 9 hours before I got to, my next destination. I am very determined to to sail as much as possible. But you know, at certain points of time, I do start the engine, as you'll see. Just to add a bit of context, this journey here from where I was anchored in Cortes Bay to Savory Island, where I intended to anchor, or did anchor in fact, was a 8.8 nautical mile journey. So, you know, had I started the engine right here and just sail or motored to Savory, this would have been less than 2 hours, you know, start to finish. Just kind of give you an idea of the time and distance I add to these trips by trying to sail. I ended up traveling about 14.4 nautical miles, I believe it was. And yeah, like I said, it was about 9 hours of you know, time on the water spent here. I mean, if nothing else, having the camera rolling does motivate me to complete these kind of seemingly dauntless tasks. So the major problem being the wind is coming kind of straight off the shoreline directly ahead here. So every time I get near it, I kind of get in the wind shadow. And, you know, at this point, the wind is kind of swirling as well as it's coming into this little narrow section. So it's sort of a last-ditch effort here before I get the motor running. I could see that the Genoa was doing nothing but slowing me down. in most cases it was just kind of backfilling with the swirling. So you know, my last kind of final attempt here was when I furled in the Genoa. I'm just kind of hoping to catch some sort of wind on the main that'll get me through here, but yeah, ultimately the engine is going to start here very quickly. Had the wind been coming from the opposite direction, like your kind of more typical northwesterly, this probably would have been pretty simple to do, or definitely not as tricky as it was. But yeah, given how close I am to the shoreline that the wind is coming from, it's just dead in the water every time I, you know, trying to navigate this narrow section. Yeah, so I am motoring straight into the wind with, you know, there's got to be at least a knot of current against me. So I don't think it was actually possible to sail out of here this day. It's just a little bit too narrow to be tacking back and forth, really. There is definitely wind around the corner though, so the motor will not be running long. Well, I nearly attempted our, what's the word I'm looking for here, nearly achieved my goal, but as you saw, definitely did give up, but I think it was an unachievable goal, at least given my experience. Lost boys and golden girls down on the corner all around the world. Doesn't matter where you're going or wherever you've been, 'cause they got one thing in common, it's true. You can hear those wee oyster catchers over my indignity that I'm doing towards Meatloaf there. They are having a time. They're just chasing each other in the sky there. Pretty cool to watch those fellas. Pretty sure you would have saw them while I was motoring through the channel there. think they were kind of in Mr. GoPro's view. This giant Genoa does not do me any favors in this limited wind kind of scenarios. It is a pretty heavy sail, and just the way it's, you know, the extra length of it, as you can probably see, gets tangled on my whatever you call those bits of rigging there, whatever they would be, something to do with shrouds and standing rigging. I don't know the exact terminology, but yeah, given minimal wind where I actually have to kind of force the sail across the boat rather than have the wind do it, I think you can see anyways, it gets quite tangled up. Yeah, the eagles I was previously talking about. You know, doing their thing. Very beautiful animals. I think he's right there. It's hard to see him through my iPhone. As you might hear, I'm completely losing my wind angle, as is not uncommon when I'm filming. But let's just discuss the eagle and why the US of A has chosen the eagle as their kind of bird of choice while we're here. So the eagle basically would very rather steal than get their own food. So, I mean, I think you can kind of appreciate why the US of A chose said bird. They are very well known for stealing land, overriding other countries' governments, etc., etc. So, you know, just a little touch of information that you probably don't hear every day. You know, a lot of stuff actually does make sense when you look into it a little deeper than what the mainstream will tell you. And I'm pretty sure he is hanging out still right on that branch there. I mean, my eyes can see him, but really tough to see him through the camera here on Mr. iPhone screen anyways. There's really not a whole lot of wind here today, so this is going to be a long process, but I'll just give you this little update. Y'all can see some scenery. Directly ahead is still Cortes Island. Pretty sure of that much. And yeah, I've just been, you know, tacking as close hauled as I can given the wind conditions. At this point in time, we're going 2 knots. It's about as fast as I've gone since leaving the anchorage. You know, I did get 3 knots in there, but as I said, the wind was kind of swirly and funnily. Kind of picks up speed in there. But yeah, straight ahead is Cortes. I believe to the left of that, if you can see it, is Hernando. And then I'm pretty sure that directly, you know, left of that one is Savory. But I'm also pretty sure you're not seeing that as Mr. GoPro. Oh, come on. Of course, as I get distracted, I lose my wind. Good grief. This requires quite a bit of rudder. Okay, we'll talk then. pointed a little closer to the wind here, which, you know, is going to make my destination. It is not very far away. It's at least pointing me in the right direction here. Like I said, Savory is kind of my plan right at this minute. Go hang out on the beach for a wee bit and hopefully get some fuel at Lund before they close. If I don't make it to Lund tonight, there's always tomorrow morning, so, you know, I'm, as usual, not concerned about time. But, yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm getting some sun. Obviously, there isn't much wind, but that's nothing out of the ordinary for my travels. And what do we got here? We're pretty close hauled at the moment. Straight ahead of me is where I spent the Copeland Islands there. And moving about 2.5 knots right now, so, you know, not a lot of wind out. Whatever the breeze is, it's probably 3 knots maybe 4 knots. You know, it's pretty light air right now. And I do believe that I'm working against the current in this particular direction at this point in time. But whatever current is there is probably not, you know, substantial. I can't imagine it being anything more than a knot. Underneath me anyways. But, you know, I don't have the equipment to measure that. So yeah, I guess that's all I need to say at this point. I'll be on this point of sail for, well, for a while anyways. So there is currently enough breeze to sail. I did just pick up recently in the last couple minutes. I did motor a little bit, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes if even that, right before this little breeze picked up. But I kind of underestimated the current, I do believe, because, you know, this feels like enough wind to get me going at least, you know, like 2.5 knots I would say, and I am currently going 1 knot. So I think there is a little more underneath me working against me than I originally planned, but as you can see, Hernando, I do believe is the name, is straight ahead. Well, maybe you can't see because I might be in the way. Yeah, straight ahead is Hernando, and then just left of that is Savory, so not very far away. I would guess, just by eyeballing, that it's probably 4 nautical miles. But like I said, at 1 knot per hour, that'll take me 4 hours. So, well, hopefully there's still sunlight when I get to the beach at least. But unless the wind picks up, this will be my speed for the day, and it doesn't really, you know, there's no indication in sight that the wind will be picking up anytime soon. So that's where I'm going. Still pretty far away. And that's where we just were, you know, very close by, as you can see. A large majority of this this bit of travel here today has been very slow, and since I have to basically go sideways before I can advance forward, you know, it's taking a long time. My one concern is if these clouds, because rain is predicted for the next 2 days, you know, if they make it to the beach before I do, well, that's going to kind of ruin the beach experience. But as long as there's enough wind to, you know, at least keep the sails full, I'm going to keep at sailing. Because sailing is free, and I like free. The wind is slightly picking up now, just judging by the water. You know, the waves are getting to be more wavy, whatever the term would be. They're starting to actually look like waves now, so I can only assume that means that there's some wind picking up. I'm not exactly picking up much speed, but it gives me a bit of hope anyways for this voyage being a little shorter in time-wise. So right at this point in time, I'm almost ready to to give up on sailing today. We are moving at 0.5 knots. Wind is, you know, enough to keep the sails filled at the minute, but if you can make out that discoloration in the water, I'm kind of counting on that to be a breeze that's going to help me out. So I'll stick with this for you know, maybe a half hour more, but if that's not a breeze coming my way, you know, what is probably 5 nautical miles to go to get to that little chunk of land there, and at 0.5 knots per hour, you know, 10 hours is, well, I'd rather burn fuel in this case. I do want to make it to the beach with some kind of sunlight. But yeah, right now I'm almost kind of hopelessly just drifting into this island, and I don't even have enough speed to tack. So like I said, if I don't have, if this isn't a little bit of a breeze coming my way, it might just be time to start the engine. Okay, we update time, and obviously the motor is running, and what you're looking at is what I did not accomplish under sail. I definitely underestimated the current, so I'm just making some miso soup at the moment. But yeah, I've got full sails up now plus full engine, and I'm still, you know, I'm making about 4.5 knots right now. Typically, you know, with no current, my motor is going to get me to 6 knots. So definitely underestimated the current here in the northern waters, which is fine. You know, I'm new to these waters, so lesson learned. There's definitely more current here than, you know, some of the spots I'm used to sailing in. But tea is now, or water is boiling, so miso soup time. Alrighty, so why there is not much filming going on, and why I'm up here, I had to start the motor, as I previously mentioned. If that makes it onto the final cut or not, I don't know. But anyways, I definitely underestimated the current by quite a bit. So I'm getting there, but it is taking a long time. And I did have to resort to burning diesel. So yeah, sailing was not working out very well this day. And what is it, 5:30? So I mean, you know, I'm not running out of sunlight anytime, you know, immediately anyways, so I will get time to explore the beach. But yeah, this last whatever it's been now since I was back at those little guys, has just been motoring, and motoring is quite loud. So yeah, or really, you guys have all seen this before. Last time I was at Savory Island was, you know, sailing that direction. So anyways, we'll see how this looks and see if this makes the final cut when it's time to make the final cut. But for now, oh, I should mention I have my fishing rod in the water, but doesn't appear to be getting any bites at this moment in time. Not sure if the motor scares away fish. Like I said, I haven't caught a fish yet, but I figured might as well give it a shot while I'm here. So yeah, that's just kind of dragging behind me, trolling if you will. And a couple boats here in the distance. But yeah, really not a whole lot to report here. I'll get back to you when I'm on the beach probably. Alrighty. We are gonna try a dinghy cam here. See how that works out. There's that beach directly ahead there. And for the first time ever, I'm using a stern anchor just because, well, I'm in a mooring field here. And I don't really want to be, you know, running into mooring balls all night long, and or, you know, if somebody happens to come by with their boat and occupy one of these mooring balls, certainly don't want to be hitting their boat. I do need to actually see. I'm pretty sure the tide is still going up. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, tide is going to go down. 7 o'clock, so tide is going down, so I can leave my dinghy on the beach. That's, you know, always important to know. And on that note, I guess we'll have a wee peek over back yonder in the minefield that I'm calling home tonight. One thing that is actually really annoying with places like this, where, you know, you can't even drop your anchor because so many mooring balls. As you can see, not many of them are in use right at the moment, but you'll often just find, you know, dilapidated junkyard boats that are just kind of left there until they drift ashore, basically, until something snaps and they drift ashore. Yeah, people tend to do that often around here, which is definitely annoying, but that's the way she goes. Certainly is nice sand here. Tour books were not wrong about that. I've already seen home, but we'll see home from the iPhone. Yeah, I don't really expect a whole lot happening here. Like I said, just wandering around on the beach. So at this point in time, the beach has turned into rocks, which is not pleasant on the feet. But I do need to toughen my feet up some, so kind of curious to see what this little caged area is. And then I do plan to turn around and get back to beach. I guess I could make life easier on myself here. And mystery solved, it is a tennis court. I don't know if this will make the blooper roll or not, but I am trying to get my composting toilet cleaned, and I've read online that this is the way others do it. The one thing that I severely neglected to do and didn't even think of until it was well too late was, I just lost my wind. There is a motor in there, a fan and a motor that, you know, keeps the thing ventilated. Good grief. Okay, let's get back to my little blooper reel. So yeah, I totally forgot about the motor inside. It's a wee electric motor fan that ventilates the composting process. Anyways, yeah, I definitely submerged that into the ocean, so I don't expect that to work any longer. But I'm going to keep on dragging it for a while. Problem being, and anyone who's owned a composting toilet will be well aware of this, you get your wee little, well, shit flies, I guess. I don't know what else to call them. But they like to lay their eggs and such in the innards of the toilet, and if you're not up to, you know, if you don't have a pretty good cleaning schedule, which I don't, you know, they become overwhelming. So, COVID. So yeah, what I'm just dragging it, hoping to get rid of some of that, you know, some of their eggs, which kind of infest it at the minute. But yeah, I do have 2 spare fan assemblies. So, well, at this point in time, I'm pretty sure I'm down to 1 spare because I can't see this one working when I pull it out of the water. But you never know, maybe it will. It might be you know, some sort of military spec waterproofing, but I kind of doubt it. Like I said, don't know if they'll make the cut here. This little bit of speech. Eating seeds is a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city, System of a Down day, if you haven't noticed. Somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep, disorder, disorder, disorder.